George was born in a humble little village. His parents, Martha and Peter, worked hard, but life was difficult. Peter was a carpenter who spent his days busy in his workshop, while Martha sold vegetables at the market. Despite their hardships, they always ensured that George had a good education and a warm home. From a young age, George was filled with ambition. He often told his parents, "One day, I will become rich and famous and I will take care of you." His parents always smiled when they heard this, their hearts full of pride. To support George's dreams, they silently sacrificed, often putting his needs above their own. Peter would stay up late working on furniture, while Martha saved money by skipping meals for herself. When George turned 18, he received a scholarship to study engineering in the city. At that moment, Martha hugged him tightly, tears in her eyes, and said, "No matter how far you go, George, never forget your roots." George promised her that he would visit often. However, once he arrived in the city, George's life changed. University courses were intense, and after graduation, he joined a prestigious company. Thanks to his talent, he quickly rose through the ranks, becoming one of the youngest CEOs. As his career flourished, George became wealthy. He bought a luxury apartment, traveled the world, and mingled with high-profile people. His visits home became less frequent, and his phone calls with his parents grew shorter and shorter. As Peter and Martha grew older, they often missed George, but they never wanted to disturb him. Peter would sit in his workshop, gazing at George's graduation photo, while Martha quietly knitted sweaters, waiting for her son's call. One day, George's company won a major award, and the media rushed to interview him. Proudly, he shared his journey of success, but when a journalist asked about his parents, George was stunned. A wave of guilt washed over him. On the eve of the award ceremony, as George was organizing his belongings, he came across a wooden box filled with childhood memories. Inside were wooden toys, carved by Peter, scarves knitted by Martha, and a small note he had written as a child. "I will make you proud, Mom and Dad." Seeing these memories, George froze. He realized how much he had neglected his parents' love and sacrifices. George decided to skip the award ceremony and drove straight home. When he arrived at the village, the house was dimly lit. Peter was dozing off in a chair, and Martha was cooking dinner in the kitchen. Softly, George called out, "Mom, Dad." When they saw him, they embraced him, and they looked at him tightly, their eyes filled with tears. "I'm sorry," George choked up. "I was so consumed by my own world that I forgot everything you did for me." Peter patted his back and said, "Success doesn't matter. What matters is that you remember us." From that day on, George never let his parents feel forgotten again. He visited them often, brought them to his home during the cold winter, and made them a part of his life. At his next award ceremony, George took his parents with him. Standing before the audience, he introduced them and said, "This award is not just mine. It also belongs to my parents. They are the foundation of my success." His words moved everyone present. From then on, George was not only a successful man, but also a son of a great man. He was a son who never forgot his roots. He learned to be grateful and to cherish those who had supported him through his toughest times. Success may take you to great heights, but never forget the people who lifted you up. Always respect and cherish your parents, for they are your strongest support. If you wish to use English short stories to learn English, I recommend you read this set of books. It contains numerous stories and essays, which should assist you in learning more effectively. If you like this story, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and hit the bell icon for more video. Thank you. See you next video.